Murphy, elusive.
A very different story for Heretics in Toronto. We covered some of those games and were mystified by their inability to get going in that tournament.
Didn't get a map in that tournament.
Honestly,
but we know they're better than that. They've just been volatile.
Corrode, I mean, such a bizarre map pool. We'll dig into that a little bit later here, but it's Heretics on the attack side to start things off, and it's already inching over to A. And who else but Miniboo to open up the account for the EMEA squad?
A team and a player who can be so momentum-based. That is the right way to start off for him.
Prowlers here getting into that A side of the map, and G2 are going to give some space, considering playing off this paranoia to some degree. It's found a little bit late to it now. Grabwell also complicating things for G2 as they try and wrest control back, but they're down to Jonah and Leaf.
Just the two of them both coming from spawn at the moment. Little upgrade for Benji Fishy as well. Really shouldn't be any hope for them to get back into this. All of the Heretics players just faced up together.
Yeah, it is like a triple face. They are ready for anything, and Jonah now is aware. 4 straight on back. Has a wall to work with, but very tricky situation to navigate now. This 1 versus 4. It's cute. I'll give him that. Right click over the top, but it's Heretics getting on the board first.
I gotta say, it's interesting as well to see the Astra. We've seen absolutely none of that in America, so G2 certainly not prepared in that regard. The agent definitely more popular over in Europe, contrasting to what they go up against. This is a fascinating first map, though. The desk were highlighting exactly why. This is one where G2 have played 3 different comps in Americas and have lost with all of them. This is their 4th new look on the map since it's been released midway this year.
It's double Sanity, which is bizarre. The Rays make it away back into the composition as well. That's a nice seize. Brienne's decayed down, but otherwise not affected by the paint shells that followed up that fade util. Jonah needs to top up himself. Decayed down as he seized in the corner, but it's a wall in response. That'll get broken open.
And since the recent buffs, G2 have loved leaning into this stage, playing it on Sunset, which isn't in this pool, but then also taking it to Corrode.
Jonah P is waiting. A little bit of skin, a little shoulder ahead, anything. Jog steps up and then gets on out here. G2 so far have staved Heretics off of this B side of the map and have scaled into some degree of mid-control with a big push by Leaf off of the A side.
Yeah, Heretics, who, by the way, have gone for that 5 stinger buy, but perhaps early ideas of going with some pace were just slowed down by G2 having both the Fade and the Sage on this B side.
Valuable confirmation there. That Haunt indicates that Heretics are still milling about B main. And Jonah went to find out the hard way. Tension in the air now, as you know, in a couple of moments. Heretics are looking to test this. They got that better weaponry. It's stingers for all of them. Very NA-coded buy-up. And Miniboo's going to get straight onto the site. Trent at least goes 1 for 1. Around the corner, it's Fallon. Couple headshots now. That's going to put the fear of God in these guys. And there's Trent. Oh, yes. G2 with an absurdly high floor, even on their worst days. Get it done with the classics.
Yeah, you best not challenge G2 of all teams with the 5 stingers. They know exactly how to deal with that. And I suppose this round it's just simply not missing in the site. What is happening? They line up for Trent. Oh my God.
These guys have changed, man.
Well, you see the Baby Bay effect right away. That is the difference. Normally, you would see Josh RT just kind of silently, he claps to himself. The team would congratulate each other. Now they're out of their seats. Josh is getting hyped to the coaching booth. They have a totally different mentality since he's joined this team.
Leaf's first game back. He clutches, gets up in his seat, screams across the stage. I haven't played for 2 weeks, you guys effing suck. And sits down. These guys are different.
Well, Benji, he's had enough. He's got the Guardian into this round. Instant first tap.
Mid-control already, though. Look at Jorg taking that space. Looks like the Hawk pinged him out, though, and now he's going to have to reconsider. That B side is opened up, though. Benji Fishy on that attack side. Always good to crack open a loose side.
Now just trying to use those nebulas to cross, but it's a very well-timed seize that comes through from Trent to deny the ability of Heretics to scale into that site.
Plenty of time to work with for Heretics and decided to cancel on that B. Slowed down a little too long by that seize, maybe. Now they need to re-clear mid. Trent steps up, sees the Marshall shot whistle past his left ear. Has an Odin in hand, but needs smoke coverage.
It does get hit by that Marshall, so down to just 50 HP. Valen on the open face.
They don't expect the other one.
That's not good enough against this weak buy. That's a gun recovered now, potentially.
A lot of center util over on this A side of the map here, but someone has to be there to take advantage. It's Trent, who's already knocked down to 49. Heretics now moving in numbers. Dangerous though is Trent through the wall. Cuts rounds down. Woot and Miniboo are bleeding out as they get onto the site. Time is short, and Trent is going to make sure they pay for it. It's just Boo with a Sheriff. At least he's been able to go up to a Guardian. Of course, that spike is down. Trent still needs to do something about this. Boo's gotten in there. Leaf and Jordan now looking to play together. Off the satchel, off the bomb buddy, and a little bit of a hop, skip, and jump. Sticks the landing. That's a G2 defuse.
And we've barely gotten to see any of Chocobo playing Raze this year, but we know how ridiculous he is on the agent. His movement is as silly as it gets. I mean, if you just think back to how much he was on that agent when he won Champions with EG in 2023. Fair effort to Heretics, though. That was honestly pretty savage of Boo to have the Guardian, but go to the Sheriff and swing out wide instead for the one tap.
That's the utility from Leaf that was left over on that A site, rather, after he drifted across.
Yeah, gets a cam tag and the trip, so they're lit up with the Odin. Yeah, that's why G2 were just happy to play other sides of the map. They have all this info on A with the setup that Leaf's playing.
Double Odin for G2. Maybe that's part of the reason why they brought Cypher back in here, playing off those kill trips now, which that much more deadly on a map with thin walls like this.
It's like they defeated NRG and were able to steal their best card.
Oh, it's like perfect sell. You know what I mean?
Now they're using it on Corrode of all maps. Just so much obnoxious wall spam, which the Cypher really does benefit off of with the cam. That is one nice little perk of having the agent. What? What? Huh?
What do I make of that one? I mean, is it a
science cannot explain what is happening with this wall. What is happening? I don't know what I'm looking at.
Jonah really, you know, with the modern architecture slant on Corrode here. Yeah, even Heretic's like, what is this, bro? A little mystifying.
I mean, in the meantime, here comes Miniboo dimensional drift while the rest of the team are just perplexed as to what's happening in B main. He's gotten all the way into the site,
Is it a sign from an advanced alien race that are trying to communicate with us? No. No, it's just G2's utility usage. Here's the Nightfall, though, cutting onto the site. Two players caught by the paranoia, tucked in the corner. Valen strides out, Miniboo is down. Here comes Trent, looking to mow them down, but the sheer wall will prevent that penetration. Leaf here, knocked down to just the shorty. Very favorable scenario here for Heretics.
Valen spotted out as well, so they get the info on an additional player. Rian's 1 kill away from the Nightfall just in case. But surely the man advantage and some good trading will be enough for Team Heretics here.
They've been able to get out of the danger zones, those very spammable spots after having stuck the plant. Rian steps up. Nicely done. Woot will chime in here, and Trent is going to be well and truly on the back foot. Meticulous from Team Heretics, but they bust open the weak side.
Now that dimensional drift got a lot of value. G2 attempting to go for the flood as soon as Heretics got into the site. That was the Nightfall coming out from Trent. There was a paranoia from Elbow as well. Yeah, I think he was trying to boost himself up, but all good. Ultimately, though, Team Heretics just play that so well, being able to dodge out the flood and then get some good post-plant setups.
I think that boost, the boost up gives Jonah a look over the wall in B main, most likely. Off we go round number 5 here.
Oh,
right open.
God.
And that's mid-lockdown.
Little unnecessary to get the headshot through the wall, but we'll take it for the style points.
Sending a message, I feel.
Plus 10 aura. Jaw just waiting in the smoke with Valen over on A. Team Heretics can really take their time here, however. Miniboo maybe with an opportunity on another. I think Jonah might have just gotten the spot. Maybe he popped up on the minimap. Hard to say, but aware either way.
Bought some time and we'll be able to fall back towards that elbow position. But Heretics, naturally, extremely well armed in this round. And there's Miniboo. Yeah, all comes up a little bit too slow for Jonah's liking. And that'll leave it all on Leaf for that B site. As a can to work with, so it could be a little bit more passive. But now, G2 getting exploratory. Boo already has the bayonet fixed in place, and Valen is on receiving end.
Valen does duck away, hoping to act as maybe some level of bait for Jaw in the corner, but with just the classic, does some damage, can't net the kill.
That's all there is to be said. Valen here, very low likely to want to... No! Okay! All right. Put a lid on it. Finds himself 2 now and leaves Leaf with the Stinger still en route to A.
Honestly, he's getting here with some decent pace. He might be able to catch them off while they're trying to plant.
The elbow play is going to wrap on him here. Leaf may be unaware that... Oh, backstab!
Oh, my God.
Guys, And after this close but no cigar nonsense.
My God. 37 health left for Benji.
How did that come down to a 1 versus 1? The economic impact of that round can't be overstated. It's a big investment here for Team Heretics.
I mean, that was their chance to get their cash to, I mean, damn near capped out for a few players. And now they're all bought down to 1.5 or so. Because VALORANT gets a 2-piece on the weak players. That.
Whoa, let's go!
At least they're, you know, still excited they won the round. I was holding my breath, but oh my God, what is that tap?
Off the rip, and it's the Yoru taken out. Heretics' ability to cover the map adequately, severely limited with the loss of that duelist.
Any hopes of using Minibu to pressure up mid as a effort while they split into B for main? Well, that is nullified.
And that allows for an eventual walk down and insertion by a G2 player to punish a rotate later.
Still waiting.
Boo, rather, still sitting bottom mid.
Heretics, they really have no intention of committing to the site just yet. They know that it's of the utmost importance. They remove that Cypher utility first, then go for the execute. You can see Rians is just queuing up that Nightfall for a moment. That could certainly turn the tides.
It depends where that really goes. There's actually no anchoring players on the side for G2.
I mean, it may just allow them the timing to get the spike down, but that might be it, however. In G2, they are getting in position right now. Look at Jaw, he's over at elbow. They might be able to flood back in.
Leaf unaffected by that by the looks of things. Haunt is cleared. Jorgamo here up in tower, and the spam is a problem. Second kill through smoke of the round for Valen. Whoop down to 4. He steps up and ends up on the snake bite now. Joel trying to time this, in theory, to disrupt a plant. Quite a game for G2's duelist so far. There's going to be a double stack here over towards an elbow position. Paint shells, a tickle. Boo down to 61.
This is really going to come down to Benji. He is the healthy player. He's tucked in the corner.
Still healthy, still ready to throw down, and he's waiting for Jaw to give him something around that corner. Still no barrel sighted. Slow orb at the feet of Benji. He maybe is slowed by that, and Valen's been brought back into the game by the Reds. It's 4 players on G2 now for a retake, and Jaw just tanks the shots. Not a care in the world. Slams down on Benji, and that's Valen exiting the round with 3.
A G2 play that with some really lovely patience, just allowing for the time to get that res, and then they go back in. It was really well done. Played to that as the out.
And again, playing around the Nightfall, playing off the side of G2.
Just a nasty timing from Valen. Just a little burst spray through.
If you've been able to take Minibu and Riens off the map, you've gotten into the engine room of your opponents.
Man, Valen right now, top fragging in the server with 9. He individually was such a standout for the team throughout the course of Stage 2.
MVP, of course.
It almost felt like he took it upon himself, knowing that with this new iteration of the team, with Baby Bay just coming back, that someone had to step up in terms of getting the kills. He took it upon himself, and he has been in some of the best individual form we have ever seen this past couple months.
Jonah P here, eating a lot of this initiator util. Still able to find a... Oh, that is devious, brother. Bizarre angle looking in the yard. So he can remain posted up for the most part with an extremely tight shot. Mid, though, less contested by G2 this round. Just the trap wire left at top mid there. But there are players filtering into that A side after the early saber rattling by Heretics.
Yeah, G2, obviously, with this setup, they have no problem just giving up mid. Leaf is peeking for anyone to go from top mid to that B link by playing towards elbow, and he's got that cam up. Jaw pretty committed in the site, but has the showstopper when the actual hit comes through, ready to fight at this choke.
Oh, buddy, that's scary! That's a 2-for-1 special for your boy, Jaw. Benji, at least able to get some value back in that exchange, and Minibu deep on that B site. Looking to occupy the top mid area, but G2 are circumventing it entirely, all the way around, back through B.
Very patient are G2, retaining control of elbow, crucially. They have it. Trip even to maintain that control. Allow the rest of the team to rotate over and then go for that 4-on-3, trade things out.
Paranoia avoided by Benji, aware now that Jonah is up in tower. Benji's had to play this position the last couple of rounds. Jonah's aware there's a player tucked close. Simply drawing the shots out. Sees won't quite reach him. Omen TP for info. Staved off. It's Valen once again. Sets foot on the side. And the rest of G2 ready to run in numbers. It's on Miniboo now. Has to peer in from top mid. Trent's drawing his shots, as is Jonah. And then they back away for someone to step up. It's rank after rank of G2 guns aimed at the Yoru.
What a beautiful retake. This is just Valorant at its best from G2. Everything they do there is so patient and tactical. From that slow up from Jonah into Link, there's that jump spot from
yes,
Jonah.
very tactical.
He gets the position of Benji in the corner. They're still waiting. Then from the shadows from Valen, gets tucked into the corner, close choke, gets the info on Boo. Then they push out together. They use every second that they've got in that retake. They maximize all of them to get the info on the players and go in.
They're fully aware.
So well done.
That Benji is tucked in that corner. So Jonah and Trent just draw his fire.
Well, that's the beauty of this G2 this year, right? Is that they have Jaw, the X factor, but overall the team is so intelligent. They play such a sound tactical game, but they have him as the wild card.
It's a Sage Wall over here at A main that forces Heretics to reveal themselves to a degree. A very passive posting there. You look towards A elbow. That's where Jonah is set up. No longer with the op in hand. It's actually Jaw. He's playing that B main position, so tons of info being gained on that side of the map. That allows for this drift over now of Trent.
Very patient. The Heretics right now in A main, just waiting to let that Prowler go, and the util from the Viper can be put up so they can try to go for this cross. It's a lot of Sheriffs.
Steel Gunner for Benji might be pretty crucial to even the ledger a little bit here, Wyatt. Here's the approach. Trent at risk of being caught with util in hand, but there's the C's thrown out, and it all seems too easy. Valen to the opposite corner, but the dark cover keeps Heretics out of the sight.
Now sub mid is Boo. Rian's trying to reposition. 30 seconds. All of G2 on this site. Team Heretics went into a pretty fair stack of players.
Oh, man.
And it's just all too easy for G2.
That's a brutal round. Heretics have to show themselves. A main have to deal with that wall, still spend some initiator util to try and divine what G2's intentions are, but they're playing so far back on the site. Then they explode forward like that.
Really not much they can do in that situation.
Well, they have the bloody
defensive
kitchen sink.
util is just so overwhelming, and they don't have the right weapons. It's
Let's go.
all good. The
Nice
real
hold,
focus from
baby.
them is
Let's go,
obviously going to
boys.
be on this next round. It's a timeout called from Heretics as well. And they have very crucial ultimates to play with. They've gotten up to the pressure of those large expectations that they created for themselves. They just haven't been able to repeat that same success at a VCT just yet. But maybe this is their time. I mean, we know what every player on this roster is capable of. The talent they have is just outrageous. Pound for pound, they can take on any team in the world.
The conditions have to be right for them, Wyatt.
And here's that divide coming through onto the B site. Team Heretics trying to just scale in safe and get that plant from Boo. They have no control of the map with this setup right now. Leaf is trying to tease the wall. Benji is ready with the shorty, and there's the pit.
Leaf got hit by the Prowler, so had to play close to circumvent the near site. Now able to back up a little bit. Viper's pit, there's a heck of a lot of work here for Team Heretics. A big investment in this round.
And Miniboo scales in, and he does get his, teleports away.
The ramp coming through a little bit late. Shield Wall is also going to cut Jorgamo off the rest, and it's going to be on Trent alone to try and fight them here out towards B main. That's starting to fall apart a little bit now. Haphazard round as Jonah's trying to get on the spike. Decayed down to one though.
Oh, pulled away even by the Gravwell.
Now, too much architecture here. Heretics have really set the playing field in their favor, and Miniboo will collect straight up mid for his third. Leaf at least can stave him off, but you can't argue with that setup from Heretics. Centimeter perfects.
Yeah, straight out of the timeout, they just come in with a big ult to execute the safest of safe plants. That wall only gives enough space for Boo to get in the corner there with the spike.
Jeez, not too shabby for Miniboo, nearsighted and everything.
Yeah, and the Miniboo is able to just fight within the pit. He gets one, teleports away. They have the sheer wall for the flank, which G2 rightly tried to exploit in that situation, having a couple people push through. But the fact that Jaw gets divided, Trent's picked off alone, exactly as they drew it up in that timeout, Heretics are able to execute pretty flawlessly.
Prowler here, cleared early by Jonah, who'll fall back to pocket.
Now Rian's got an Odin of his own on this attack side as Heretics make a lot of noise early on a main. Take that extremity control. The other one currently under the watchful eye of Jaw, who has picked up that operator.
He's the kill trips on the B side there. Trent is going to be pretty important to that plan because it'll require him to spam from top mid.
Yeah, those are some ratty trips.
Pretty big.
To the B side for the Odin spam, but yeah, the action is definitely going to be here on A.
Yeah, G2 just trying to realize, figure out how much breathing room they have here at Yard, and Jonah can step up now and throw the wall. This is confirmation in its own way. Also a slow orb that could follow this up. Sees instead tons of this stall utility at the fingertips of G2.
And just the spam coming through the choke doesn't do a lot of damage yet, but it does just keep Heretics temporarily at bay. They need to break that for sure. They're going to get spammed.
Haunt is taken out. Seas comes in. Valor now will have to be subject. Ooh, nicely done. TP's out of that steel garden. The G2 give up the side, come back in with their primary weapons available, though it's going to be an old-fashioned throwdown. There's Link fighting him too, and Boo can't stand under that level of scrutiny. Rians has to get here and get involved, but it'll be trolled around the box. Spike is loose, not at his disposal whatsoever.
Leaf was on skates. He was just going back and forth, sidestepping him. That was crazy.
Just some sick movement. We're going to see that again.
Yeah, how did he win all those duels? G2 just go right back in and fight after that steel garden is used. Jonah was isolated towards elbow. He was caught by it. They come into support. He couldn't get wrapped on. That was some really sick gunplay from Leaf.
So Heretics, they make that big investment in that round number 9, win it out with sheer weight of ultimates, but then a belated hit towards the A side is stuffed.
Now here they would love to get an orb from Miniboo to have access to a dimensional drift. They did win a round off the back of it prior, but he is completely isolated forward. He's in so much danger, but he's holding his ground, and wow, Jaw shot very low, but stays alive.
Yeah, Jaw trying to juggle a little bit there. Takes a lot of damage in order to deploy that blast pack. Certainly, Heretics a little bit rattled after that early encounter, and now G2 looking to be the first ones to really get that deep mid control.
And with the wall from Heretics in mid, Wood isn't really able to activate too much towards that A side, even with all the noise. Yeah, Jaw just able to dodge out some of that spam. And, the benefits of playing the Sage, up to 100.
Jonah has an off here. So knows that his connector is covered. He can play that much more aggressively here out into Yard.
And again, it's at about that 55-second mark that wall is going down on main. Exchange in mid. Valen is just too good right now.
Extremely slick movement there from Valen. Gets him out of what could have been a dangerous situation, and Heretics just have to be patient now. Jonah on one angle. Leaf sitting back on the side for the spam. The op brings out, but gains no purchase. Jonah has to give some ground.
They'll be able to pick up elbow. 25 seconds now on the clock. Heretics overwhelmed by spam.
The shot here for sure. Wood brought down. Cyber Cage now. Do I get Loud Jonah to fall back yet again? Is after Util's getting thrown up. This is very ad hoc. This is very impromptu, and time is starting to tick down. Leaf now sings out with the Odin's call. Henry ends once more. This is an impossible situation, riddled with bullets. And that's G2, adding their 7th.
This composition has just allowed them so much great passive map control, even with the existence of the Cypher, and then having the cam during those executes to ping players is quite helpful. And then on this round, G2, they just throw this aggressive walk down mid in the mix. Valen is just so sharp with his aim right now to collect those 2 kills.
Silence your mind.
And then by the time Heretics can actually get into that execute on A, they're dealing with the Jonah op, the Odin, Cypher util. What can they do?
This stage gets really annoying when G2 go on the attack side, by the way, to fight for that contested territory with the slow orb, the wall for the safe plants. But for now, it's a dimensional drift up mid for Miniboo. Pretty enlightening, as he has found the captain of the ship.
This is something Heretics had done before, and they split through B with the majority through main. This time, everybody is going through this link. Poison Cloud going to be thrown up so they can't get shot down on entry. Miniboo ready to teleport in, perhaps off this Prowler.
Trent is here, though, to spam down if they get a ping. Valen seized inside cubby. TP for safety here. Leaf! Oh, no! Now Heretics boxed in. It's one way or another. Rock and hard place. Leaf eventually is brought down. Miniboo plows through him, but Heretics have suffered such great casualties. And they still don't have that spike to hand. It's still dropped top mid. Miniboo's got to double back for it. And he's going to have to face a wall of bullets again. The Odin spam is egregious. I'm just going to put it out there. It's filthy. It is Jaw, of course, looking for a flashy finish to the round. And of course, we let go of those ultimates now in this round number 12. Extra player brought back. And Benji is put down.
That was a beautifully orchestrated defense from G2 with this new comp that they brought into the mix here. The Cypher was getting so much value throughout that entire half. And the timings on Jonah's play with the walls, slows towards A, really influential as well. Excellent way for them to start this series. Heretics were able to put together a couple nice executes with the ultimates when they had access to them. But outside of that, it really was a brick wall.
Yeah, it's such an interesting comp for G2 to bring out here. Seeing the Rays make a return on Corrode of all maps. Stunning stuff. While we wait for the second half, here is Lou. It's
only played it only one time. But honestly, I do respect the boldness of going for it because this is the flaw that has been in G2's map pool. They've been great everywhere else. So I really do think this was a good pick. I like that they went for it, but now they have to make the most of it on this defense.
Well, Miniboo gets off to a good start yet again.
Same as the attack pistol, immediate Deagle headshot.
Boo here trying to chime in. It looks like G2 unperturbed as yet.
Evidently, the Frenzy can work at range as well. Valen goes down. Heretics with a great opportunity to just surge right back into this game if they can convert the man advantage that they've earned off some pretty sick individual skill. Team has no shortage of that.
Slight course correction for G2, but they still have eyes for this A site. So they're going to be pitted in a 3v3 in the immediacy of this hit. Prowler sees a fair bit of action there. Dog! Okay, right-click central it is. Boo steps out, though, secures the trade. Now Trent and League for the threats on the side. It's Rien's trying to give a bit of space. Some jiggles from Boo. A crossfire set up here for Heretics now as Trent is trying to draw them out of formation, but they were not born yesterday. Got to get up early if you want to get to the better of Rien's. The guy is like a lab-made player. So well-rounded. Kind of has everything you could ask for in an individual at this level.
A perfect crossfire setup. Both Boo and Rien's absolutely managed that utility that was thrown at them to the best. But Rien's gets, as deserved, so much respect from the community, analysts, other pro players. He has got it all as a player. He really does. He is the complete package.
And a delightful 3K to start Heretics on the right foot here. It's supposed to be a Fibonacci sequence. How do you play hopscotch like that? Dizzy work. Anyway. A very early outlaw picked up here for Miniboo. Valen trying to play off this haunt, and Miniboo is unperturbed. He simply gate crashes away.
Jaw going to recover that orb, but with only classics, this should just be a slow defeat on the second rounds here for G2. And I do, frankly, still need to be convinced of them being able to put together a solid attack on this map. We still should have big question marks about their ability to close out a full game of Corrode right now. This has been, as I said, the one stain on what has been an almost flawless run through Americas.
Miniboo so far is now to find himself in the perfect spots to take contact. So now G2, suffice to say, running out of ideas. The sheer wall. Bit of an issue for Jaw. He will eventually have the curtain come down on him.
It's interesting, too, to see that Heretics, they have opted to go for a much more meta look on this map, running the double controller. Last we saw them with the double duelist that they've really heavily leaned into, and with very good reason. They have Boot and Miniboo on their team. Those are some shooters. But they've come into this tournament switching it up. They have gone with that very meta double controller.
Seen a few teams, I think, just the volatility of how mid works in this map and how spammable it is. Maybe opt for something that's a little slower. A little better at carving up the map, setting the playing field to favor defenders.
As this standard wall from defense is thrown down, you can get that up on B main. Nice for retakes. Of course, you can use it to walk down mid, pressure, as Miniboo is doing right now. Oh, lovely shot.
Yeah, just about
another first blood. That's 3 in a row. Miniboo is heating up.
You're looking for someone to take over the game. It's going to be Miniboo. So G2 now have to put this together without their Cypher. Playing to the extremities now, but there's just a huge amount of utility in their face on that A side. And B, though, there's the extra player. Boo over here alongside Miniboo, who, again, is right where he needs to be.
G2 are temporarily stalled out. If they want to work towards A, they obviously have to contest all of that Vice utility. It's the wall in main. G2 making their way back. They need to use this dark cover to actually cross mid and a Prowler to re-clear close as well.
They have to threaten some sort of A split, so at least the sheer wall's being drawn out now.
Thorns as well needed to happen eventually for G2 to get that out so they can then actually activate for a re-hit. 30 seconds on the clock, so time getting relatively low as G2. They are slow on this foray through mid out of necessity. There's so much to clear.
But Heretics still 2 plays over at B. They don't want to risk getting caught on a rotate through mid.
3 now with the teleport.
Yeah, here comes Miniboo back on the site once more in the eye of the storm. There's a paranoia. They were hoping for more off that one. Joe at least gets his one, but Benji mows them down. Jonah into the smoke, knows Benji's lurking on the other side of it, but can't bring his gun to bear in time. And that's got the boy up on his feet. Some energy now from the Heretics camp.
What a beautiful hold, especially from Benji. Lethal shots coming from him. That initial kill from Miniboo just puts G2 in a very awkward position. They're slowly trying to rework that map late to get in towards this A site, but it's too little too late. Miniboo's able to teleport over. Team Heretics are more than ready, and the shots from Benji are just fantastic.
G2 unsuccessful in consecutive rounds at working mid. Miniboo's been a real thorn on their side.
See if he can go 4 for 4 on first kills in this second half. He is the player on Heretics that you want to be heating up early, to be feeling that momentum. He is
so
a player that
forward.
just takes so many liberties.
Oh, wanted more, but it's Benji, always good.
Just racks up 2 kills. He's one away from getting the Steel Garden even.
I mean, he is 18 frags in 16 rounds. And he sees no reason to give any more ground than this. And there's the Arc Rose lighting a couple up. Benji falling back now. Valen not really at effective range. Needs to close the gap, and Benji knows it even better. Steps back. Nebula in the way.
Just no reason to fight. Don't give him an inch.
Valen's trying to cut up the site here, but Heretics still want to play together, so they do so in the smoke.
Both G2 players very weak at the moment, just going for the safest of safe plants.
Kill trip, play off the side.
I mean, about the best thing they can do really is just try to get the plant and a little bit of cash for the next round. Surely they can't close this out.
This is inventive. Valen gets himself across the way. Leaf also an elbow, but there is a molly thrown down inside that smoke. Valen low. Trip on the site. Valen hoping to spray through and do something with this. Leaf. Wishful thinking, I feel. As it was just the tap for Heretics, and Abu will come and clean up from Connector. The Sting of Dreams finally dead for Valen. Team Heretics well and truly back in this game.
They did not allow G2 any in that situation. Played everything as optimally as possible. I mean, not the most minuscule risk taken. Miniboo, another first blood, and Benji is right there to just clean up those G2 players when they try to go for the trade. Beautifully done.
And G2 had to be really careful of contacting these extremities, but they're playing a double senti comp. They have to do that to some degree. They can't just spam control you till break the map up. They need to walk into those sidelines.
And now Benji, he did get that diffused, so has the Steel Garden. Dimensional Drift as well in the arsenal for Team Heretics right now. G2 fully invested, of course, into this round with a lot of emphasis on controlling B main. Prowlers exchanged from both fades.
Arc Rose sends Trent scurrying. Sees. He caught Jorgamo there. He had no way of getting out. Decay down, so he's an easy pickup for Miniboo, who's just opening every single round with a kill.
What a crazy trap play from Heretics. That was so sick. And Miniboo able to just get away. Jonah would love to find a res somehow to bring Jaw back to life. They don't have the entry now for this side exec. Need to run into the Odin, run into Benji, who has that Steel Garden ready.
They've got to trigger the shield wall all at once as well. Or just leave a play on the other side of it, I guess.
Yeah, good luck, Trent.
There's the Steel Garden. Lorenz is going hunting. Trent stunned up in the corner. Caught by the Nova Pulse of all things. And now Benji can tuck in this corner. There is no option here for G2.
What a genius shutout! Genius reposition from Benji. Incredible. He is playing absolute top-level Valorant right now. Oh my God.
And it's these little adjustments, Wyatt. It's nothing out of the ordinary.
This was so cool. The Arc Rose over top combo with the flash. There's the Thorns so they could, you know, try to make it so they couldn't run away. They already crossed back. Didn't even matter. Miniboo is that fast. Gets out. Benji ready with the Steel Garden. Would hate to be Trent in that corner. Sorry, bro. The whole team got stuck behind the wall. You're caught in. No gun. Stuck.
These guys have got off the overcom, so they do not have an easy way to get a shield wall out of these chokes early in the round. They have to test it, and if they take too long, they've been split up multiple times on
no value, essentially, from having this Sage up until this point because Heretics are just denying them at these chokes, fighting them so aggressively.
That's the other edge of this double Senti sword. If you can't get post plants, you're weaker in trying to get that site control to start with.
Prowler exchanged. And G2 on this round, they don't have the cash to buy up in any serious way. It's just back to a few stingers.
Can I just say, what a way to bounce back from a epic crash out in MEA playoffs for Heretics. Looking really composed, and honestly, like you mentioned, with some genius individual moments. Don't be fooled by the number 4 seeding.
I feel as well, coming into this match, honestly, with some intention to pick this jaw in very quick. The rocket coat just goes awry. What was that?
Okay.
No one can even support. They're all sucked out of the choke. They committed the showstopper on this of all rounds.
Oh, man.
On this buy?
That is deflating. Yeah, maybe they're hoping to rush in around it, make something happen. There was no shield wall to contend with, but there's always going to be stall util from Heretics.
I mean, yeah, when you're playing against the Vice, doesn't matter which site that Vice is on. There's going to be Thorns on the other one 90% of the time. The cross-map lineups, G2, they just want to storm into this A site now. They want to go with a bit more pace, but they are immediately stalled out by the C's.
And there's going to be a dark cover now inside A. They're going to have to fight through that. Razorvine.
I mean, have fun getting through this choke point. There's an Odin. Benji's getting in the corner as well.
Yeah, has to clear the horde though, whip around, and now lays waste. Here's Miniboo catching the push straight out of elbow. There's one singular leaf with one singular weapon, and not one singular hope.
I need to see on the replay again what the entire idea was really around that assault from G2 into B. The showstopper comes through. Man, yeah, everyone else pretty stalled out, and Dodge is overwhelmed by some util. That is so awkward. I mean, sure, they throw that ult away. They still have 4 other ones, but
let's go!
It's not like you can proactively just use a Cypher and a Sage ult. Like, something needs to happen for them to become relevant, you know? It's not like the Showstopper or the Nightfall or something.
Now at least they have that. So they've got 2 consecutive rounds where they have side opening ultimates, but look at this close positioning from Heretics. This is absolutely devious.
And they just don't even want to allow them to get that spike down.
Brienne's tucked. Shots through the masonry. Benji and Jaw traded out for one another. Nightfall catches onto G2.
They want to get this space. They want to deny the ability for Jonah to get value from the res in this round.
Trent is already trying to re-clear that, but there's an Astra Star thrown down, which will segment it off further. Heretics serious about keeping G2 off A.
They are telling G2, if you try to get this res, we are going to be right there to stop you. They want to double back. G2 have left. Valen went for a TP towards that A yard area. And now they're working their way in.
Leaf needs to find a way to get some form of mid-control. At least the shear wall's out of the picture, right? Benji's down, so that connector wall won't come up. There's Rian! It's disgusting! 5 kills, of course, with the res involved, and Boo will finish the job! It's just filthy!
I'm just stunned. They are absolutely 100% committed to we need to get this res. That sightline is completely open.
Couldn't make it any easier.
I mean, look what happens when you try to swing into this Odin. You're just getting stalled up by bullets. You're getting lined up.
How else are they supposed to take back control of this comp? Well, they hope to maybe use this fade util to clear some space?
Yes. Fuck yes.
Hey, can't catch my boy Weber with the bleep. Bro, too slick with it.
Okay. Do best and love to do. It is to fight. Yeah. They will fight you at the chokes. They will aggress whenever they feel is necessary.
They will fight you with the water cooler. They'll fight you with the traffic lights. They'll fight you on your front doorstep. All theirs, as it turned out. So what is the plan, probably in round 21 in fairness, to overcome this disgusting hold, this Odin play?
No, this time Heretics, they've gotten their way up into the B main with a couple players, hold it for a bit, and now Miniboo feels it's time to Leave, hasn't been any sound, work the map elsewhere. Leaf attempting to lurk up mid.
That's new. It's probably one of the first times on the attack side G2 have gotten this much penetration through mid and presence in connector. VALORANT is taking liberties.
A G2 who, again, their economy is cracked. They're never getting the spike down. They're never getting extra cash. They just have to keep going in with these miserable half buys. And half, I feel like, is generous.
VALORANT looking to cut up the side. This is going to favor now that Stinger play. It's going to allow G2 to function with this weaker weaponry. There's Horn, sees Walls right in front of them, catches on the 2. Jorg is seized in place! It's so dirty! On a dime, they spin a trick! That stuns G2 into silence. And now Leaf has to give up some of the mid-control. Doesn't want to tangle with Miniboo, and who would? Needs to link up now with Trent. It's 2 sheriffs, but I'm sorry, this town ain't big enough for these 2 teams. And G2 looks like they're the ones that are going to get booted out at Sunrise. They have to test this Nebula before it fades away, or Rians will make mincemeat of them. This isn't a fair fight. This is looking more like an extinction event.
This Team Heretics defense, it has that raw aggressive element that they're known for. It's had a lot of great first kills from Miniboo, but there is also this depth as far as the strategy with having these trap plays. There have been a couple of these now, and G2 have just been utterly destroyed by them.
And they've been searching for answers. That prior timeout at the end of round 19 has to come to fruition now to keep G2 in this map. A stellar defense side, but nothing to write home about on the attack. Completely shut down.
And they have just been slowly using their ults to no avail for what might be their last round. They only have the neural theft left with Leaf. And meanwhile, you take a look at the ult economy for Team Heretics, 1 away from Steel Garden, 1 away from Nightfall. Those could be relevant in this match point round.
This ult preference tells me everything I need to know about G2's master plan. They're trying to get Jorg with a showstopper, give them a way to explosively break onto a site instead of being held in place, locked down, and just sprayed.
That showstopper had no value the last time they used it. He was fully isolated from the rest of the pack.
I suggest user error there as well.
With ease, yeah.
Jorgamo, high highs, and sometimes finds himself in the doldrums, the worst moments. It's a very belated re-clear of this B main area that's set up for a crossfire.
It's as you were saying, they want to get him that orb pawn over the top. Both players shoot it, so G2 well aware that they are going to be faced down by multiple players. It won't just be one they can push off and collect that orb. And they'll give it to Jaw with ease. No, and now it's the pivot towards A.
And they're working the map.
They're so divided across the map.
Decayed on down. Oh, fell in the corner though. Unexpected. Rienz is still able to find some spray through the smoke and recover things somewhat.
That hits 3, the Nightfall.
Neural theft in play though. That gets popped by Leaf. Some valuable information now for G2 as Trent gets the plant down. Yes, Nightfall's in play, but that slow orb stops Heretics from capitalizing.
Everyone from G2 just routed out of the site. The spike is planted for them on that link side. Rians gets the haunt back. Miniboo has a single flash, a couple util pieces.
Flashing in, Miniboo lit. Leaf steps up for a moment. There's still some Astra Stars to deploy, and Boo is going to get things set up now for this retake from Heretic. In numbers, they step up! And Jonah and Leaf are able to cut them down. It's on Woods, and G2 get a lifeline in this first map. It's anything but pretty, but effective, sure enough.
It is the very first time they are able to crack that Team Heretics defense. And honestly, if you looked at the minimap 5 seconds before they got the spike down, you would not have thought that they were going to do it.
And it's simple. VALORANT smokes in there, TPs across into the corner, occupies that space, they get a plant, and they fall off. Make use of that fade util.
That was all on VALORANT being able to make that play, get that entry kill onto Benji Fishy. And the rest of Heretics still needing to take some time to rotate on this map where the rotates are oh so long. Now G2 still trying to work towards the showstopper of
They're going to fight for it. Miniboo is not going to let them have this orb for free. This could get ugly. Jonah and Jord. It's the fake of the smoke. A trade. Jordan again. Showstopper in the ready. Benji goes over his head, but Trent is good for it. Another missed showstopper, but that's a footnote here as G2 at least are advantaged and win that fight in A main.
Rians takes a hell of a lot of damage and just needs to get away. Wood has made his way over towards that A site. Some reinforcements, but it's left Team Heretics entirely divided across the map. So as it stands, going to need to take some individual effort to even things up into a 3-on-3 or put them at an advantage.
Still both controllers in play for the defenders. Can buy plenty of time to make sure they stack the right site. G2 no reason not to try and play with a bit of pace now. A little bit of confidence. That Cam.
Where are you?
Just early warning for Leaf in case someone is tucked up close. Prowler now cleared the way, and through top mid, Heretics are getting set up for this hold.
Yeah, they have maneuvered over to this site already, but G2, they want to
30
depart.
seconds.
Because
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's just been over here taking the space, working up towards elbow.
He's cleared it all.
20 seconds on the clock, but hey, that's going to be enough. G2, they're getting through A main for free, and they've left Leaf all the way through mid just to be a nuisance potential backstab later.
Enough money here for Heretics that this does not
10
represent a
seconds
mandatory save. Even looking ahead, Benji's been able to get that Steel Garden online, but Heretics here say, just how worthwhile would this really be? It looks like they're happy to stay put.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that they think it is at all. G2, after a long drought, finally string 2 rounds together. Heretics, again, had a cool little trap play there set towards main, where they send that pop flash as soon as that Nebula drops, just the pull-away star.
I mean, they've cottoned on quickly to G2 feeding ultimate orbs one after another into Jaw.
Yeah, it was a cool idea to deny them, but the straight-up duels just didn't go their way. Jaw able to capitalize, get that first.
And so G2 cling on now. It's literally fingernails into the cliff face kind of stuff, but we still have a game on our hands. Heretics, though, can buy up. Still have a Steel Garden now. Reactively use that if you're playing off the site. Here's how this first engagement goes. Just a little messy. Well-turned flash, and Jaw comes forward that showstopper. Fortunate they had the third line of Trent stepping up there to cover for Jorgamo.
I want to say that showstopper as well is why Rian's got on such low HP.
chunked down.
It's hard to tell
Yep.
for sure, but it seemed like that did a fair bit of damage to him. Probably also early rounds of this half, and he was getting a lot of first bloods with that Outlaw, so I'm not surprised to see them try and pick that up late, have that be the factor in victory.
His positioning with it is interesting. He's just going to play that B main spot. Maybe just some jump spots from Leaf. Yeah, Cam used. Is it not for G2? In the hands of Jonah. This is headed over to A.
My camera is
In
destroyed.
case there's any exploration from Benji past that line of scrimmage in yard.
Bomb buddy out.
Pretty deep haunt gets thrown
Pings.
over towards B main and now A main, so exchanged on opposite extremities as G2 attempt to move forward, have to go through the poison cloud. Rians gets out of the way of that slow orb that was just bouncing all over the place. That's a little silly, but
That's full yard control though, Gain. You've got to respect the Odin, of course.
there's a bit of damage onto Jonah with the spam.
G2 haven't scaled into any of the space. I think the Odin's definitely given them pause for thought. They haven't really looked to take mid either. It's pretty tentative play for Valen.
And Miniboo, he's on the rotate in spawn. You can see him ready to just kind of throw the gate crash over towards that B side. Wu just picked up the off now. He's the one stood in B main. While G2, now with the knowledge it's there, want to continue to test this op. And yeah, there's that gate crash, goes all the way back B. So Team Heretics have 3 stacked up A, but at a moment's notice, Miniboo can come support on that B side if the execute goes through there.
30
G2's still
seconds
got to
left.
get moving. This is map point. Now, less than 30 seconds in the round. God, if they got to walk into all these Vice utility, it's going to be a disaster.
20 seconds, they have to get through 2 Thorns right now. They're getting sold out. There's an Odin here as well, and the Steel Garden. There's no way, man. There's 15 seconds. How can they do this?
No other choice here. Paranoia comes in. G2 have to fight with secondary. The Shorty Brigade goes for it. Benji's down, traded out, but Miniboo's going to step up in the shield wall again. Breaks up G2. They walked into the trap once more. And Miniboo's happy to execute them on the spot for their audacity. In these slow rounds, G2 get caught out. A weird comp that caused them to struggle to scale into parts of the map they had to control.
I think Team Heretics made an amazing decision exploiting that map, the hole in the pool that G2 have right now. But we're on Lotus. This is G2's bread and butter. I think they're the de facto best Americas team on Lotus right now, having most recently beat NRG, who look like the best team on the map in Americas. So I put G2 as the top dog here in the region, and Heretics will have their work cut out for them. But right now, man, they are looking good, even just on that individual basis with 3 players dropping 20 bombs on map 1.
And it's been a while since I've seen this double Sentinel look, especially with Chamber and Deadlock on Lotus. Like it cropped up in Americas randomly. Starhawk was playing it on this map, but let's see what Heretics have for us. Jaw going to be able to receive Boo as they make their way over towards the B site. We're going to see the Deadlock wall thrown down to cut off that C-Link entrance. Jaw goes searching, gets another one. Low as he is, Wood gets blown to pieces.
And now Team Heretics are trying to pivot, but no matter where they go, there's just G2 players waiting. Good kill from Benji, but this is going to be tough on Jonah. The wide swing is crazy, but Freeheads can't get the trade.
I don't know how he gets away with that one. Jonah! The Professor is in.
I've never seen a wider wide swing in my life.
Oh, man.
That was so crazy. And what was this from Jaw? How does he find this second kill? That's a nice first tap. Takes that engagement. Just spam the wall. Yeah, just that Sheriff high bullet pen.
I think our Heretics looked really contained there. In a post-plant scenario or trying to trend towards one. Oh, Jesus, guys, some decorum, please. My goodness. The gluten gladiators in there. Balance pushed up on. Oh, that's not good at all.
That connected.
Yep. Gravnet
honestly,
into paint shell, baby.
Feels like some karma for seeing Leaf hitting so many early grav nets when he plays Deadlock. That's over on Bind. Won't be seeing that today, but it deserved justified in a way, honestly.
Snarled up. Absolutely nowhere to go. Now, Stealth Drone gets a good clear of B main. Obviously one of the few teams that bring Teho onto this map, or any map still, RG2.
I mean, worth noting that Heretics are continuing their streak of just having cool little util combo plays that are getting a lot of value in this series. It only took 2 rounds for one to be activated here.
Yep.
I mean, kind of the oldest one in the book, really. The nade with a thing that makes people not move. But it works.
That is the most circuitous way of saying immobilize util. Into the side we go. Another Gravnet here that came back online. Valano gets back from it and sees just a glimpse of the spike go loose. That's confirmation enough for G2. And now they're going to set up by a waterfall. Sees on Woot inside the smoke and eventually catches a stray one. Has to rendezvous one out of there.
Does recover the stinger, wants to throw that over to Miniboo, and in the midst of trying to just be a good teammate, he gets shot for it. How sad is that?
Put your body on the line out there, and I won't hear otherwise. This time G2 far more proactive across the map despite the loss of Leaf early in the round. So Valen pushed up, got that mound control. Obviously this is... I can't help myself.
This little combo.
I mean, bro is going nowhere in a hurry. Oh. Find chunks of his ear up in the parapets of Lotus.
There's a Guardian.
Got COVID, bro.
They didn't take C, guys. There was 3 C, but nothing C.
That's really good. Pretty important.
Get some easy kills afterwards, clean them up. But hey, Heretics, I'll be content with that. A spike down, 1 kill. And also, definitely instills a little bit of fear about playing in C main early, I will tell you that. But now they've got the full buy going. Still without outlaw.
Leaf, witness protection program. He's moved. He's in a different postcode.
His hit Valen. He teleports immediately. He TP'd right away. As does Woot when he's getting pressured.
Stunned up by that special delivery. Able to rendezvous out of trouble. And G2 have maintained this foothold here. Forward on Rubble. They're going to want to fight for it. And Woot had best have his wits about him.
And he just wants to make sure he's looking in the right direction. Valen going to have to deal with everyone from Heretics coming through main.
He's ready for it. Smoke down, but replaced by a poison orb.
Those players are so weak, in serious danger of just getting one shot by the Guardian to the body, and John once more.
Yeah, here's that late ramp coming through as well. Heretics are going to be pretty short on options. Jorgamo's been dealt with. B main, though, not the safe passage the Heretics might be hoping. They're going to go for this now. Hordes will eat Valen's crosshair placement for breakfast.
Wow, and Leaf spotted out, so they know there's a player with a Bucky and Waterfall. Leaf won't have an opportunity to get a better weapon. Team Heretics can absolutely still win this if they play at range. It's stingers, it's a shotgun.
There's a lot of angles to watch for, and they don't know the status of Halls, Heretics. Now, though, G2 showing themselves in Waterfall. Guided Salvo to try and clear the side, but Woot is obviously sat up on that box. Ready to give this space up, should it be required as Leaf. Some early information, maybe a triple swing coming out, and here comes an avalanche of G2 players to get themselves their third.
Man, Leaf ends up doing a great job there, just baiting himself for his teammates to be able to swing. That was really well done. Prior to that, some good anchoring from Valen. Jogs right into backside to support.
Some pep in their step a little bit after a bit of a crushing end to Corrode.
It was really nothing crazy. It's just the G2 players killing them at the choke, denying them on that entry.
And a little thing, but that stealth drone for Trent gets so far down through B main. Notice that like Woot was constantly looking back. They didn't have any coverage of that part of the map, and he was never truly looking secure in that A lobby area.
Some shards here for Heretics, but opportunity for G2 to extend the lead, extend the economy. Of course, they've got the Odin online. Last time they played Lotus, they were running 2 Odins on defense just to spite NRG.
They might spring out and fight here. Guided Salvo used already just to slow that rubble push down. Jonah hit with a Paranoia. Miniboo is hot on his heels. The Prowler doesn't slow him down for a second. He gets his crosshairs set, but re-enters the second wave, then steps up with the Sheriff. Jordan wants to fight out in the open. He's down for it. Flash through the wall to follow up the clone might be the play. The G2 have a good opportunity to slow the game down. Boo revealed as that screen comes down. And with the last one to step up with nothing but the big iron. Trent will give him the flick.
Could have slowed it down, but no desires. They have the entire team there, and they are just ready to pop out on those low HP, low weapon Team Heretics players. I do want to say, it's of note that on this map specifically, G2, their defensive win rate, 62%, and attack, it's at 47%. They win this map all the time, and it comes down to their defense. They still are below 50% on attack, despite winning this map constantly. So they really are reliant on putting together a number of rounds here.
Kind of bucks the trend of sometimes what we see on this Lotus map or any 3-side maps. Miniboo here, someone who we've had limited opportunity to highlight in this map. King of openers on Kuro. This time has had the book shut in his face for each of these last 5 rounds.
Root's got this operator trying to post up towards B main. Might honestly have an opportunity. It looks like Leaf was jump peeking that angle towards spawn, but the wall will cut that off, and now Team Heretics wanting, needing to take space elsewhere, but it's right into the Odin.
The disgusting off angle, isn't it? Here's the Nightfall.
And then the salvos, they push Heretics back. That keeps Jonah alive. Nightfall to ensure both his life and the space is retained.
Haunt re-clears that rubble space on A and gives G2 the window now to fall back to more defensive positions.
That was some really excellent play with the utility by the 2 G2 initiators in that situation. Very well done.
They both, of course, have that safe info gain. Stealth Drone is going to sniff a bit of this out, and there's Woot just headbutts a bullet in the midair.
And now the 3 remaining Heretics players scrambling to get up towards rubble side. G2 know what's going on. Jaws pushed all the way out of C Mount.
30 seconds left.
And Jonah doesn't have any info to play off of yet. Paranoia here in a baby door. Valor might have his hands full more than he bargained for. Oh no! He bent the house on it! Flawless round there for G2. Heretics stopped in their tracks yet again.
That has been a duo that have been putting up crazy numbers. The Jonah and Valen on that playoff run were sick. This was really the moment in the round I want to highlight again, though. Jonah on that angle, getting the kill, then the immediate missiles to force the rest of the Heretics team back. He nightfalls. That's just to keep him alive and control that space. But it was all worth it. It was all worth it. That was some really, really lovely team play.
And the mark that Baby Bay left on this team is something that we still witness. Is they have to fight for their place in franchising. They're an Ascension team. They don't get it for free. Nothing is granted to this team. They've got to fight for all of it.
Out of this timeout, Team Heretics can't afford the full buy. It's going to be just Sheriffs and a fast attempt to get out of rubble that will succeed. G2, no real interest on this side of the map at the moment. Outside of the Odin from Leaf, one of 2 defensive Odins that will be frustrating to the utmost extent.
Such
Team Heretics.
Gentlemanly play. It's just a solo explore here for Boo. Safe over towards that rubble area. Looks like Heretics want to wait as one way out. Set up a spot here to play off for Woot. You've got to be a little intricate in a round like this for Heretics as you are underarmed. Now, down in numbers as Jorg just has a peek. And Benji is the one that gets picked off.
There's a lot of damage dealt from Valen as well, so Miniboo very low on HP. Boo has retained this space forward on rubble. He's been playing off one of those sonic sensors.
Trained info there, but that does break the double face that he and Leaf had.
I mean, still though, a few Sheriffs against an Odin. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the Odin. I will take the Odin in this situation. 3 players, don't really care.
Yeah, Leaf against Sheriffs here. Sees Miniboo coming. Oh, nicely done.
Nice
Headshot for Woot. Lives up to his name. Trent now might need to play a little safer for the time being. Buy a little time for Jonah to join. It's another Odin, of course, on the site. Now Heretics need to try and find a safe place to get this plant down. Rienz is getting an outline drawn of him through the masonry.
G2 allow that plant. It doesn't really matter. They're just going to wait for the rest of the team to get there. Dimensional Drift to try and ensure a safe retake in this 4-on-3.
Yeah, Jaw sees a heck of a lot to as Rienz is out into the sunlight. Boo, quite the opposite, playing from the dark cover, is felled by the shorty of Jaw. That's G2 with 6 unanswered defense side rounds.
Heading into this, we really had no idea what to expect from Team Heretics. They haven't played Lotus at all in Stage 2. They're using this unorthodox double Senti comp with the Chamber. I mean, this is only the second time Woot has played Chamber this year of 69 potential opportunities. It is a rare but fun pick. So far, hasn't been able to get a ton of value from it. This G2 defense is just rock solid.
And Doug honestly mentioned on the desk that he likes this double Senti look quite a lot on the attack side. I think he was talking to the Deadlock as well. If Heretics can get those solid post plants. But they've been stopped before the sites constantly, much like G2 suffered on Corrode.
Valon spams away from the door. Cover, and oh my god, he comes up.
And not only he comes up, I mean, that's the info gain for Heretics off the table now.
Nightfall off the table. Heretics have all 5 ultimates. That's reduced to 4 in this specific round.
Tour de Force was set for some value there, but Trent respects the long sight line towards Rubble, forcing a bit more of a readjustment here from Woot.
I mean, we are yet to even see a situation where this Deadlock can thrive on attack, which is really going to be in those post plants, disrupting floods and retakes coming in.
Well, Woot is definitely away from the safety of that trademark here, or that rendezvous rather.
But obviously, you know, with that audio cue of the ultimate being used, G2 know they're going up against an AWP.
So
they're not going to give anything to Woot, right? I mean, and this is just frustrating as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, clock really getting burnt now. We're heading to 30 seconds, and Heretics don't have any critical map control yet.
Yeah, now the door is activated because Team Heretics want to make it seem like maybe they're going towards A, but no, it's going to be a pivot towards baby door right now, but the Odin spam is there.
Leaf opened the door and he came out a tree. Found a backstab opportunity. Now Woot gets lit up on the side. Jaw waiting for them to push through. I don't know how this is going to go down. Shorty spam. Jonah, though, is caught by the grab net. Woot gets purchase with the stinger. And Miniboo not quick enough for Valon. He's had 2 massive kills in this round. Now the post plant, all well and good, but ideally, you have an even number of players.
I mean, Benji has the Annihilation. Will there even be a moment for it? I mean, perhaps if he could kill Leaf.
Yeah, Tour de Force here. Active. Woot finds Valon. Annihilation didn't catch. Leaf's going to take the fight up close, but Benji wins it out, and it's all on Trent. Quick step, sidestep, gets him out and gets the kill against Woot. Stunned up briefly, and time is anything but on his side. Benji comes around. What a cleanup. And Heretics have arrived on Lotus.
Perfect timing for the swing from Benji. Beautiful shots from Woot. Finally puts his stamp on this game individually. Gets into the mix as soon as he gets that ultimate. Wow, look at that aggressive play onto Jaw, and then immediately repositions New Valon, who's coming somewhere from that C side, given he had killed Miniboo prior.
This is G2 having to fight a retake against the double Senti of Heretics. But it's less about the util that favors them there. Woot just has a stinger and a Tour de Force to work with.
And I'm just wondering, how many rounds might it take for Heretics on this half when they swap to defense, where G2 are less favored on attack? Their worst half by the numbers. They're a pretty fair margin.
Their Rubble fight's pretty good with this comp, though, in fairness. That A side of the map, you can be proactive on defense around the grab net.
Now Woot has picked up this operator after finding success with the ult, and again just controlling towards A. That hits in towards C. Valon under a lot of danger, just needs to escape.
Miniboo can only speculate with the showstopper there, was hit with the Paranoia in the way in, and now a Nightfall. Valon the only player caught by that. Jonah forces Woot off the line with the Prowler. And now he can hold it, get into tree once more with the Odin, with the actions here at C.
Team Heretics can't really take much more space though. They've already committed both of their ultimates just to getting the spike down. No waterfall control, no hulls control, and G2 have an Armageddon for this retake.
And that barrier comes down pretty quickly. Armageddon now threatens the back of the C side, so Heretics now got to commit to that high ground themselves. Trent wants to get in, the grab net is a big problem, and then Heretics are ready to fight in the side. That is premium anchoring from the EMEA squad.
They play to the 1 out, and they win out all of those duels. Their out was fight. It was step in front of that Armageddon. If they scrambled, if they tried to run, it would have been over. G2 would have gotten in with ease. Well, they play right at the choke point.
Well, their out happens to be their MO, Wyatt. Couldn't have asked for a better convergence there of ideas.
Wow, and despite G2 being up 6-0, look at the state of their money. They're into this round with a hero rifle, a judge, and a guardian.
This is what seems like a big commitment to Mound, but of course everybody has get out of jail free.
Oh my god. Sick reaction to be able to 1v1 the judge, close range. Leaf doesn't even get a shot off.
The judge player so favored in that spot, Wyatt.
Jaw forced to teleport away with that pressure coming as well, so Team Heretics making a hell of a lot of noise. Rocking the store.
For the most part, playing off the action. VALORANT is so low. Can't afford to expose himself. He would like to just slow the game down if possible.
And after 40 seconds of straight audio, Team Heretics have cut noise. They're rotating towards the safe side. They wait out for Boo to actually break that stealth drone. It's just Trent, playing towards A, and no longer.
Yeah, he was pinged out there. Woot's able just to post up on the line and quickly take him down.
Might have been on a jump across even that he gets that shot.
Horn has to be cleared, so that will show Jonah P here in this corner.
Yeah, would hate to be him in this situation. Okay.
Guardian doesn't quite have the flexibility to get him out of that one.
A little unnecessary to do it that way.
Style point awarded though for sure.
Plus 20.
And now Woot can wait for this push up from Pitts. It's VALORANT. It's up being a trade as Boo is down, but he's done his duty well and truly.
Now that Woot has the off, he's coming to life in this game on attack. Controlling the map, cutting off rotates.
Making it hard for Trent to get that passive, safe info on the A side.
What a kill to find here, though. Oh, I mean, look at that from Leaf's point of view. And yeah, he does
jump.
Catch Trent on that jump cross. I mean, this first satchel wasn't even ideal, but maybe that made it even better, honestly. Yeah. That the jump made no sense.
The Guardian's definitely not built for that.
No, not ideal in the 1v4 you're getting satcheled at.
Okay, Heretics, they are halfway to making up this total, but they're going to be seized off the rip, so slowed right on down. And as G2, now a chance to send a Paranoid in to further disrupt them.
G2 did not fight heavily over this space. It's just spam through from Jonah. Man, that sounded more dangerous than it ended up being from the point of view of those Heretics players.
Yeah, just Woot there with a smattering of damage. Boo as well. They can shrug that off though and get back to business. So far,
I was going to say, Boo does have this ultimate to teleport into the site, gain some information, and off that distraction, Team Heretics can press forward a bit.
Maybe a B pivot here? With how they set that Sonic sensor up, that's looking more and more likely.
It's only tough because they have no B main control, which is being exploited by Jaw. He's pushed all the way behind them with the AWP.
He's going to go for it anyway, by the looks of things. Okay, Trademark to stop a backstab on them.
You can see how worried Boo was. He was jump spotting that angle, and Jaw heard him run away, so he's pushing up. Heretics are being flanked by an AWPing Yoru at the moment.
Valentine on the site. Jonah not able to really stop them. It's only Woot out of the mix, but Trent from upper gets the job done. It's dirty work, but someone's going to do it. Playing in the site. Spike recovered by Riens, making his way forward. It's Boo sat back inside tree. And G2 have a chance now to contain this Heretic squad.
They do have that paranoia to play off of. It's in the hands of Boo. Maybe that can be the tool to victory, but Jaw's been on this flank for a while. Riens is ready.
He's too good. Riens, sharp was attack, but Leaf flutters by. And that 3-round streak of Heretics is put to bed.
Jaw just got so much map control alone on that round by being pushed all the way out B. Team Heretics were surrounded this entire time that they were maneuvering towards A. To those 20-30 seconds before planting. Trent right here, this was the perfect moment. Throws down those missiles. Players forced into the open. 2-piece was lovely. Could always trust Trent to have a good game when he's on Mateo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone who abused it extensively for G2 during his heyday, and even after those changes, still found ways.
One of the only teams in the world that still play it.
Couple of maps where it pops up. Example of how those guided salvos can really be utilized. Boo gets chomped on here, forced to TP away from rubble.
And he does throw an early smoke over towards B heaven, so that definitely implies Heretics have ideas of getting into this B side, especially with the wall going down and Leaf exposed, isolated in the site.
He felt like he had to play ahead of that smoke, so puts himself in an odd off angle. Trent's just trying to go to work on the wall here, but this is the true post plant.
I was hoping Trent could have helped, but can't when that wall is thrown down. Now Jaw trying to work his way into Blue Room, does have a teammate in Jonah.
Setting up the gate crash. Oh, nice use of the clone there. Does trip the sonic sensor. Should be able to get into Baby Door now, but Jorg is taken down by Miniboo. It's now up to Jonah. Has to flick with the own, and it's just not going to happen.
Benji gets into that off angle, and Valen blinded up by Boo.
Now Heretics starting to make this one interesting. Trent is going to have to get off this one. And that was pretty simple, right? That early smoke you mentioned by Boo to up it, it forces Lee forward. Puts himself in a little bit more of an exploitable position.
And then all of that util dumped towards B main. The wall, I believe there was a nade as well. So Trent, he's forced back towards that waterfall side. The Leaf is immediately overwhelmed. Doesn't even have the ability to get one. Trent doesn't have the ability to save.
And that's how you're always conditioned against these double senti comps on the attack side. You do not want to have to give that space up and try and flood into a side canvas with their util.
Yeah, it's that nade, that wall. Leaf caught alone. Benji Fish does a great job there adjusting to an off angle after being tucked in the corner right as Jonah's going in. And now for this final round, the Nightfall is in play for Heretics. One away from the showstopper. It's a low buy for G2. They're on the cusp of a couple ults. They could make this happen.
Oh, Wood caught out. Valen just, I don't know, hides out of sight there, but it's not exactly a rare spot
Valen
to play from.
Just teleported up, I think, like right as the haunt was pinged, basically, and Woot was confident to continue holding that angle. Too confident. He's punished. But Miniboo does recover that orb, so they have the showstopper and the Nightfall to activate a site exec with.
Yeah, but there's a gate crash here for Jorgamo to get out, and he hears this showstopper coming.
He's caught!
Couldn't get away. That's nuts. All right, here comes the wall. So Heretics with that deadlock util setting up now. Last time we saw G2 try and flood in here, they got absolutely battered.
A Nightfall used very early, and Team Heretics can't really do much off of it. Counter Nightfall going to come through from Jonah. This is going to have to get massive value. Definitely going to hit at least 2 players.
Also got itself in the back corner. That is respected, though, by Riens.
This site smoke is really great for keeping these anchors alive right now.
Yeah, G2 trying to make their win, but they've got a cross here. Miniboo's going to see a head pop up in a moment you'd expect.
Site smoke being cycled again. Miniboo on that lower angle, but under pressure.
2 players seized there. This is dangerous. Decade down now, getting that health back. It's on Boo. Takes a moment to step up. And Trent eventually falls, but it's labored now. 2 versus 2. Link trying to get out through the smoke, and Riens gets a good account of himself, but Valen not ready for the swing. Riens again gives Heretics the edge they need, and it's a more than respectable half for them. 7-5.
That was 6-0 at a time for G2. And Heretics run back 5. John just couldn't get out in time. Minnie was too quick. And this post-plant setup was excellent. The way that Boo was controlling the site by cycling those star covers, you could see the safety that it provided for the other Team Heretics players to retain control towards Bend, to fight when G2 were flooding back in. Beautifully handled.
Let's go! Let's go! And the energy is absolutely back for this Heretics squad. Strong showing on this next half.
It's the fact that despite G2 being up 7-5, they only won 2 gun rounds in that entire half. That is a crazy stat. That bonus round did a lot of work for them in terms of getting in the lead and being able to maintain it by a slim margin. And now they have to close this out on what has been, by the numbers, their weaker half of the 2 here on Lotus.
So they'll start their attack side, of course, around this lurk wall at A. All moving forward. Stealth drone through to check that Baby Door position. Benji, though, waiting for a grab net opportunity here. Looks like a paranoia folded it in. Benji just sees Leaf waltz on past. And is going to take his shot.
Leaf tried to take a timing, but was caught for it. And now, what did G2 do to respond? They try to get it to be fast. Yeah, Miniboo is ready, but he knows he needs to get out of dodge. Woot's picking up the angle for him. Can he get one? Yes, he can.
Perfect. When one steps back, another steps up. But G2 able to brute force their way in.
It's not without taking a lot of damage. These players are low on HP and feeling the pressure while trying to get this spike down. But Heretics, they'll need to slow down. They need to wait for Boo to get back in the mix. He's just rotating now.
They're so low.
Valen is eager to make something happen, but it's all on Trent. Just one body shot from a Sheriff is enough to fell him.
That haunt from Riens was massive. It chunks Valen down to about 20 health, makes him so easy to pick off. And now we'd have to do something, frankly, extraordinary. Sat on the site, footsteps here from up above. That's 1 down. Benji and Riens to the rescue, though. And a pistol secured for Heretics. smooth sailing over the last 7 rounds.
He's ultimately just overwhelmed and alone. Heretics open this up with another trap play, by the way, and it's Leaf trying to take a timing off that trap play coming from Tree when he gets caught. There was a nade with the grav net thrown over towards kind of that back rubble cross area on the far left side. Leaf moves forward, he gets caught. G2 feel like, well, we need to pivot B. And then, did you see that lovely way that Woot, Minibu, they play off of each other from heaven, and B main just swings back and forth.
Woot picks up the line as Minibu doubles back.
And they didn't get all the kills, but they did so much damage. Made it easy for the cleanup after the fact. G2, their patented round 2 Stinger Force.
Yeah, that's a pretty distinctive look in it. Works out more often than you maybe feel it should in America.
I mean, they made this their hallmark in 2025.
Now, there's the question, of course, of starting to get some of this map control. Going up towards Rubble could be a risky proposition, as Woot is already got himself an Outlaw enhance. This will clear him and force him onto a wider angle. A rendezvous away as Jorg takes all that space with a gate crash.
Yeah, he can play relatively aggro there, right? Just with the ability to get back into Tree. It's one of the nice spots that you can play aggro with the Chamber on this map. You're going to be so safe getting away.
Jorg may have to wait for a toggle of this Viper wall. In the meantime, maybe looking for a way in, or even a way to just to garner some extra information about this A side setup. Self-thrown into B. Ren's forced away here. Haunt, Poison Orb thrown up to cover that link area. This is G2 now with the Stingers getting into B.
Minibu just waiting to see if anyone tries to run into that smoke. Not going to be the case. And then a Season 8 combo, but Jonah, wow, just out of the way. Was in some serious danger.
Avert your eyes if you're squeamish, folks. This is about to get ugly. Paranoia comes through. Trent also Jonah caught by that. It's one for the Stingers. Leaf trying to hold his own on the side now through Baby Door. Jorgamo has to get into the action. It's Minibu and Woots, and the latter meets him with the Headhunter.
Absolute stunner of a shot from Woot. Both players brought such low HP against a Stinger. You almost want a favor job there, honestly, when he's got the 150 in that weapon. Beautiful retake. Gravnet gets value.
This deadlock utility.
The Seas gets value. It really has been. Heretics have been doing an absolute number on G2 with the Seizes, with the nets, comboing them with nades.
It's about as good as G2 can ask for in a round like that. Down to Stingers, they have that full B-site control. They spend Poison Orb, they dark cover upper. They couldn't have asked for more there.
It's got to feel good to be doing this in front of the home crowd as well. Now G2 relegated to a nothing by, a lot of Sheriffs here. And Heretics with a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game.
Joel with some questions to ask of the C-site setup. Can always gate crash back in the spawn direction.
Yeah, the setup right now on this round is the exact same as on the prior. It's just with Woot playing over on A, Trip very far back, Deadlock setup over on that C side, and Rian's playing on B.
Yep, this wall allows for Valen to gain this orb control. G2 usually trying to scale up to at least the tree door or this position. Huh. Reactive barrier here thrown down by Benji. Jonah's going to clear it like the old-fashioned way. Again, keeping those two players interested at C, sprinkling some catnip over that area is now G2 scale forward towards that A side.
Had a real opportunity to get the kill on Benji. He's caused quite the distraction, but Woot, it just, well, doesn't really matter, I guess, does it?
Yeah, he sold it perfectly.
30 seconds.
He sold ice to a polar bear, and still, Woot would have cut them down. Valen gets up towards that pit position. There is a plant. Jaw has allowed it. You see Jonah P as well playing that rubble position. We'll be able to see that long line into stairs. With Sheriff, though, it's a tough ask.
This would require some absolute magic. Jonah very late to try and pick up stairs and swing off some of this contact, but he's smoked off out of the fight.
Valen has to clear the Haunt now, maybe try and play ahead of it. Paranoia comes in, though, near sights him out. Jonah took a timing and didn't pan out. And Heretics have found themselves in the lead on Lotus.
It was a long journey to get here, and one that at a time didn't seem like was ever going to happen. Didn't seem possible when G2 were up 6-0 to start the game. But they have arrived. Woot topping the board, slow start on map 1, but he has bounced back on Lotus. G2's pick. So once he started picking up that operator, and speaking of, in this round, he's got the tour de force. Likely going to just pop that. He's playing with the Stinger right now.
I love a good acrostic poem.
And on account of that second round force, it's taken up until now for G2 to have an actual buy with rifles.
The attack sign continues to look questionable.
Just another util combo.
Jonah, he didn't have the ability to TP out. Okay, and there's Woot yet again. It's all the same pistons pumping here for Team Heretics that have given him this momentum over the last few rounds.
And if you'd like to dodge these util combos, enjoy walking into our operator on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, you can't play ahead of them. Lucky for VALORANT, he could sort of TP out, Jaw much the same, but Jonah did not have such an option. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Util combos are one side, tour de force on the other. And Woot is the kind of player who will just repost and get ready to fight again.
Cover going out.
Smoke's being cycled to control A main for Team
man.
Heretics.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, that timing, and Jaw just making noise, and he's just caught. He just has no idea.
And just, you know, that's around where Boo pops up, reads his head, crucial kill, falls back into that passive gameplay.
Look at how quickly Team Heretics are already getting right on this C site to help Riens.
Now, Riens is just clear of that, but Trent's able to run him down. Traded out instantly, though, now as Boo sat up in his corner again. This guy, he's always in a corner. Never to expect him. And he pops out like a spectre to claim the round.
A round where Heretics just do everything right. For what feels like the millionth time in this series, they get value with a util combo early. And then on the opposite side of the map, Leaf tries to take some space. If you're not getting hit with a util combo, you're walking right into an operator sightline. And then late when they go for that C hit, Boo's already picked up that solo player on B. They pivot 3 immediately. They're there to stop them. They were everywhere they needed to be at all times.
And after look,
Heretics' volatility, high highs, low lows,
their ceiling
is unbelievable. Their roster, the talent that they have, is outrageous. They can take down any team in the world, on the right day.
And as good as G2's floor is, it's high. They are struggling to reach those heights right now. VALORANT for Miniboo is the exchange over towards that mound direction, and G2 would like to step in and take some liberties here.
Jonah now recovered. Just one away from that Nightfall, so whatever happens for the rest of the round, live, die, get a kill, he's going to get that for the next, surely.
Once again, a preemptive barrier to prevent Leaf lurking up any further on this A side. He'd have to give a sound cue if he wants to advance more northward into tree.
By the way, just some note, but Woot didn't invest into the off. He's just playing with the rifle here.
Boo in that spot we saw him in last round. That is checked for by the Prowler.
Much like a prior round, Jonah is just here in the dark cover on C, making a ton of noise. But juxtaposed to that last round, this one, he dies. So,
it does put Benji solo over at the A side, and VALORANT with some sharp shooting.
Yeah, great kill from VALORANT. I mean, this is 2 times, though, that Team Heretics really didn't rotate off. Jonah did cause enough of a distraction for them to stay. And now they've got a real shot at winning this on account of Trent having that Armageddon, despite just the Sheriff. That ultimate can more than make up for it.
Yeah, into stairs or upper A site. Both of them likely to rattle Team Heretics and force them to quickly reposition. Leaf's going to call these footsteps. He knows they're coming through. Sat in pit. He'll hear the drop down as well. He's got all the information he could ask for, but now to make an informed decision off of it is a different story. Here's an Armageddon. Leaf sees Boo step in with crosshair. Woot is more than he can handle. It's all right, though, because Captain VALORANT drops 4.
Wow, I mean, G2 just set up a beautiful crossfire there, ready to pick the players off when they're forced out into the open from the ult. Jonah, again, over on that C side, selling, and again, Team Heretics are buying. They've recovered rifles early on account of these kills. They get the upgrades to the weapons. This was kind of just that extraneous round out of the timeout. Hey, let's try something, see if it works. But we've got all the ults for the next one. Let's focus on the buy run. Oh, don't even need to. This one worked.
It's a massive
the half buy worked.
I mean, it's kind of, you know, wild, right? You're one of your initiators just playing away from the team. None of that util actually being used to get real info. That's why it's so compelling to Heretics to stay on C there.
Back to the util combo. Well, it's the C's and the nade over towards that C main. Doesn't actually get too much damage off like it did on the prior round, though.
So it's just Leaf working this wall solo right now with an op.
always potential when you've got that Nightfall with the dimensional drift to go for double execute. You can pop out of the ult. Players won't be able to hear you.
Yep, come out of halls or something similar. Yep, that's the play, Wyatt.
That's a counter Nightfall, actually, to just stop them.
Hasn't slowed Jaw down, of course. And here comes that G2 Nightfall. It's allowed Jaw to emerge here without being heard. And Boo again tries to get up in that box corner, but it's Woot with the emergence from B main. Pops the door open, gets two. Leaf finally neutralizes Benji on the A side. This will provoke a rotate back in that direction.
Oh, that movement from Woot was so slick, staying alive at the end there, just working around the door. That's beautifully done. We're going to be into a straight-up 3-on-3 retake, except for the fact that Leaf can get that pit down and activates it right now. Yeah. It's going to cover up stairs, so that sight line closed off.
It's pretty devious. And Heretics don't know about Tree either.
Now, the one critical piece of util is that Riens does still have one Prowler to try and locate a player in this pit. Ideally, of course, they want to find Leaf, remove him from the map, and remove that pit's activation.
Trent going to pick up this rubble position, but Woot sees him coming. That's the op player down. Inside the pit is Jaw. Course over towards that stairs direction. Leaf is present. Here's Miniboo steps up. Cut down. It's all about Riens now. Has to give it a tap. Leaf very, very low, but Riens also decaying down. What an ungodly flick. Pit comes down. Riens was already low. And it's a shaky round for G2. But they find the runway and even up the game.
A beautiful attempt from Woot in that mid-round. The push through the door, that 2K stays alive somehow even while being concussed. That was really sick. Oh. Wow, Haunt just allows him to know right where to put the crosshair. On a couple rounds now, it's been Team Heretics able to get kills over on that A side onto Benji when he's playing their solo. They've been picking him off.
I mean, it's Leaf here just working that lurk wall, this time with an op in hand. And honestly, forced the issue. Knew that Benji was trying to play pretty cannily on that A side.
Because next round he's going to have that tour de force, so it doesn't matter. He can just try to go for it on this one, send it, see if he can make something happen.
Miniboo gets a Phantom. A Phantom. All right, fast push here up. Rubble fight attempted. Of course, we talked about how potent that combo would be on this defense side. Heretics assert themselves and they will insist on A-side control.
At the same time as well, Woot has moved forward over towards Mound, playing up with Boo. Two players that can take a shot and teleport away if they really need to. Not if they get hit by Self Throne, though, and don't have abilities.
Really similar to the Yoru double duelist comms, where you take both extremities and use the Yoru just to gate crash away from Mound. Same idea. Jonah P that was extracted from A.
Yeah, I think that was just random spam. He was sending out some util through the smoke, trying to draw some attention as the rest of the team work towards B. Rien's very well timed sees, so he can escape, and then Woot opens the door.
With the weapon as well, he's got the Vandal, and it strikes true.
Here. I think he saw the indicator from the headshot through the box, so he kept spamming. Benji now on the proper angle. He sees the barrel. Oh, he's just going to capture Jaw. That's devious.
There's no escape. Trent might try and break this cocoon up and realizes now the showstopper pop from Miniboo. There is no way forward.
Oh, come on, man. That is ridiculous.
This is a hero rifle buy with some sheriffs mixed in. And the perfect use of those ultimates now. Heretics can lean back and lean into this round.
And Woot has just been chilling over at Mound. No reason to leave. Can teleport away whenever. Valen
They're going to get all the guns for this.
Oh my god.
Getting the most with the least are Heretics. And Woot never had to give up that Mound position, but does over push into Trent. Realizing now the spend might be worthwhile to get another gun out. Rien's the next to step up. Trent does not want to deal with the bioengineered Valorant Menace.
I mean, what has gone on there? So I think Jonah, maybe he was sending out the Prowler or just through a Haunt, something along those lines. So he gets spammed down by Miniboo. Yeah, he does send the Prowler, just spam headshot, cool. This was a great moment. The paranoia into the swing, and yeah, he sees the indicator from the headshot, so he knows to keep spamming. Then they try to re-clear A, but have no fade util. Also, that's so smart from Benji. He knows if he swings wide, he could die from someone's door, so he just cocoons Jaw. I mean, that's just a series of cool little this round. So now free op time with the Stinger. He just throws that rifle over to someone else, so the Team Heretics economy just suddenly inflated.
Yeah, or just insulated against any volatility. If you're a G2 fan, you are buying the dip right now.
And that time, immediately Woot is forced away from that place where he's loved to off on Chamber. Just get him to TP right to tree, get out of there. They break even that trip that was placed on the ground as well. This is some fast action from G2 taking the space, taking this orb.
This pivot back to Mound might also be pretty pacey as well.
Stealth drone could be trouble for Boo.
It'll force a TP play away potentially.
Yeah, just has to TP right away. Does he dare try to break it and then TP, fight, take a shot?
Risk the suppression?
That'd be pretty risky. I wouldn't be mad at just get out of there. Yeah, he does.
Bro, it's Boo we're talking about.
I know, it's Boo we're talking. Yeah, 99% chances to just get out of their line, and I think it's very appropriate.
He is going to be suppressed here, having to back up on the site, so hard to get some of this util out. Did still get a dark cover into the choke.
Yeah, and Boo says it's retake time. Mini Boo's coming over, still has that nade. They've got the grab net. It's being synced up, but the nade, it goes a little bit too much to the left. Oh, no.
Still, though, waterfall control's been held by Heretics.
Yeah, Jaw just decides to walk forward into them and goes down. Takes a risk, trying to take some space.
This is to the wrong wolf inside of him. Special delivery holds Heretics at bay for a time. But off that paranoia, they might look to go for it. Here's Mini Boo. Pretty patient, trying to get forward. Ends up being a trade as he steps up. Jonah's taken down. Benji emerges. Hope for more, surely. The tour de force clatters to the ground as Leaf has only one more target to get through. And you better believe he's good for it. On his feet. And again, plants the flag for G2, refusing to be left behind by the surge of Heretics.
What a snap. And then collects onto Woot, right back to the left for Boo.
Crosshair placement.
Oh my
elite.
God. Oh my God, that is outstanding.
Look at the stress though in the coaching booth.
It felt like this game basically as good as done with a retake win there from Team Heretics. They did everything right, and it's not enough. They're going back to this fast A fight. Combination of the grab net and the nade, but do they know that Valen is crossed? They want to fight out and support their omen.
They do want to throw down here. That Stinger gets Valen deep in rubble. Benji also down, so that stall util cut a little short.
And now Woot is pushed all the way out of C. He's going to meet up against Leaf, who's going to win this duel. Woot has the opportunity!
The movement from Leaf's too good.
He had the moment, he had the time to get the kill before Leaf even had his whereabouts, but that wasn't enough. And now this round should be as good as done. Rians and Boo likely to just save now.
And honestly, it's just a moment where there's an overpush. On that C side of the map, we've seen Woot get aggressive. He's always had the rendezvous as a bit of a, a plug-pull option, but there he was well out of its range. Leaf always good in those 1v1s on random extremities.
There's no way they're trying to go for this. The remaining three players have no money at all, but they're going in!
The timing for
Forcing it too!
Now Jaw and Valen might be in trouble. Nightfall's going to cut straight through and onto the site. Valen is set, tucked in the corner with the Stinger. Jaw sitting in the back of the site, a slightly safer spot, but double down on Team Heretics. You cannot be serious. Valen low, sees the Prowler come through and then realizes there's real follow-up behind it. Little swing, little flick now. It's all down to Boo. Needs a tap. Valen with the classic in hand, and Boo is good for it.
There's just no way.
There's no reaction on his face. He's cool as a cucumber. What is that nuts timing? Out of halls. That should not be happening. Whose idea is that?
They go for the 2 versus 4. How does Rians get the 2 here? Oh my God, Leaf just staring towards Waterfall, and then Jaw is isolated. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. They went for that 2 versus 4, ripped the Nightfall, the 3 dead players, 2 of them had 100 credits left. 100 left!
The masculine urge to do something that makes
what
zero
on
sense.
earth?
All right, collect ourselves for a moment. G2 definitely don't have much time to rest on their laurels. Big ping, a couple players got spotted out there by that horn, and Valen deep, very, very deep with that TP. But it's a rubble fight, and it's got Heretics' name all over it. Trent and Leaf might be caught there, but they brought Benji down. 7 in the chamber, Boo only with 5 bullets. Heretics are going to stand their ground as G2 are trying to weasel out of the situation. Viper, although drops, doesn't have the juice. Leaf and Trent now. Would love to sneak back into the fray! And Boo says, I'll have my third. Trent is at 5 HP. And this will be Heretics moving to match point. It's the only thing standing in their way.
What can Trent do in this situation? If he goes towards C, Woot is ready. The brothers are duoed up, fighting together on A. About to walk into this trip. Surely there's just no hope.
Trent will hear it here, able to clear it in time. Spike to hand. 30 seconds left. On what feels like an impossible situation. He's just faked it B. Left the site now, likely to end up at A. And what do we play around? A stealth drone? That's it.
Team Heretics just taking their time. They don't need to do anything overly reactive. Wait for the spike to go down. Play for the 3-on-1 retake. This would be an all-time Valorant moment. This would be in the history books if Trent can somehow manage a way to win this 1 versus 3.
And the draw on every inch of his experience, his collected nature, his nonchalance. Tough to rattle this guy, but a 1v3 against one of the best teams in the world surely is going to get close. Trent hears Woot. He understands he's sound baiting, and there's Mini Boo to clear him up.
Down to 1 HP off that dink. 1.
But yeah, honest with you guys, I'll give it to you straight. The money, not good for G2. Valor with a deep TP in the stairs that starts off this rubble fight, and Heretics really throw themselves at it. They know they're favored here. They trust themselves. This is the way that they win.
Those back-to-back rounds, just all-out brawl for that side of the map. And it has been over a year since the last time these two teams faced each other back at Masters Shanghai, and that was a 3-0 victory for Heretics. And it looks like they're going to extend that run to 5 maps in a row against G2 1 year later to open up Champions, the beginning of their journey, trying to get back to the grand finals as they did last year.
Joel here, of course, in drift, sees it all. Woot, rendezvous on out of there. Joel pretty deep here in the side. He might look to stick it. Boo just cuts him down.
He's just ready. He has his back. And Woot, are you kidding?
That is where that came from. He'll be waiting for even more of this action. G2 get themselves up on mound. What are the options? Bulldog and Phantom, 2v5. Heretics at their best. G2, frankly, in the doldrums. Dark cover dissipates. Woot knows what waits on the other side of it, but he'll play back for safety.
Yeah, low HP, in danger of the spam repost now that he has that rendezvous activated.
That smoke now refreshed means that the way is closed for G2.
And the home crowd knows that this is time.
A pivot to Beaver. Benji Fishy will be waiting. Teeth bared. Lips licked. Waiting for that last morsel to be offered up as Valor needs to extricate himself from the net and simply step up. Decayed down briefly. Buddy dealt with. And he knows his only option is to go forward. Suppressed W will walk into the sidelines of 3 Heretics players with Woot breathing down the back of his neck, one after another. And the greatest heresy is to put a score